In today's video, I want to take you guys through a brand new PlayStation 5 game that has been revealed, and that is the high-speed mech action game in Nimbus Infinity. That's been announced for next-gen consoles and PC. A little bit of a smaller title, but nonetheless, it is going to be a PS5 game, so I want to take you guys through that. Also, Housemarque Studio, a Finnish game developer that I am a big fan of. The guys that brought you Resogun, the guys that brought you Super Stardust HD, Dead Nation, Matterfall, a lot of great games. It looks like they're working on a PlayStation 5 launch title. That is the rumor, and that looks to be their most ambitious game yet. And how about this? Okami 2 has high chances of becoming a reality. Hideaki Kamiya would have to direct the game as well. He directed the first game. We'll talk that at the end of this video, and you guys know how into Okami I am, so obviously I'm a little excited about that. Alright, first of all, Game Tomo has announced a high-speed mech action game, Nimbus Infinity, for next-gen consoles and PC. A release date, however, was not announced. An overview of the game can be found on the official website, and we'll take a little bit of a look at it. It's the eve of the year 2100. In the times since the end of the last Great War, half of humanity has migrated to space and built colonies to open a new horizon, while the central CFN government has successfully united the warring factions of Earth under its iron command. Battleframe technology has fallen into disguise as elite pilots with the ability to create neural links with the mighty mechs have all but vanished, ceding the battlefield to brute force and superior numbers. But as 2099 ends and 2100 begins, a young man sees a bright light street across the sky, and the future of humanity once again hangs in the balance. The next installment in the high-speed mech action series Project Nimbus arriving soon. This sounds like every storyline of every Gundam anime I've seen. Maybe that's a little bit of a stretch, however, I feel like I've seen this general storyline a little bit before. Nevertheless, it's the mecha combat that I am into, and in this game, it notes skill-based combat. Choose your weapons wisely and aim them accurately to take out a variety of enemy types, diverse battlefields, cities, asteroid belts, deserts, and various other environments to add new levels of challenge and excitement. You've got a level of customizability in there with customizable loadouts. Build your loadout from multiple options, gears, weapons, missiles, and more. And then you do have a variety of characters that have already been revealed. I won't go into depth on that. Game seems to be visually very impressive, and the Nimbus Mecha games have been rather good. This one is shaping up nicely based on the little gameplay that we've seen. We still don't know a lot about it. We do have some screenshots and things of that nature, but we do really have to wait out on more gameplay, but that does have some potential, and I'm a big advocate for more mecha games. I mean, we don't get a lot of great mecha titles, and the Gundam games don't usually turn out to be that great. Zone of the Enders is a thing of the past. So if we can establish a brand new mecha franchise as a mainstay in gaming, I think that would be good for at least those of us that do like a big robot-on-robot combat action, and that's something I'm always going to be a fan of. Yes, it's a little bit crazy. In warring times, are we going to really use big robots like this to do battle and have pilots like that? Maybe it's not the most conventional way of doing battle, but hey, I'm going to suspend my disbelief, and I want to see gigantic robots kick each other's asses, so that's something I'm going to get really excited for. Alright, moving on from that, as I mentioned at the top, Finnish game studio Housemarque might be working on something pretty major. We know that they're already working on Storm Divers, which is noted to be a battle royale title, but Housemarque's mysterious new project is seemingly being published by Sony. Housemarque, the Finnish studio behind Resogun, Nex Machina, Alien Nation, and other arcade-like games like Super Stardust HD, Dead Nation, and so on, announced earlier this year that it's ramping up production on its biggest and most ambitious title yet. At the time, the developer announced that it had shelved in development battle royale shooter Storm Divers, which the studio knew had little chance of succeeding in that busy space, and I just don't think that's what people want to see out of Housemarque. I think they can do a lot of other cool projects, and their arcade-like titles have been really good. The new project was said to be published by a third-party partner, but Housemarque didn't say who that was at the time. Now, according to GameReactor.dk, the game's publisher is none other than Sony, who plans to make the game available at the launch of the PS5, which is really interesting because Housemarque arguably had the best PS4 launch game in Resogun. Obviously, Resogun wasn't that kind of game that people were like, oh my god, Resogun's on the PlayStation 4, let me go buy a PlayStation 4 on launch day. However, it was a PlayStation Plus freebie. Insert quotes with freebie, but you guys get the idea, and it turned out to be a really great game, really a prioritization of everything that Housemarque was known for. Great particle effects, great arcade gameplay, it had all of that. The site doesn't mention what kind of game it is, and Housemarque never dropped any official hints. The developer has, however, expressed a desire to create a more modern game that doesn't harken back to the classics. I know that that has been something that Housemarque really wanted to do, just because they felt like they kind of reached a little bit of a ceiling with the arcade-style experiences that they were developing, and I understand that. I understand you want to take your studio to another level, you want to flesh them out, you want to grow your studio, studio, things of that nature. However, I really never thought a Battle Royale title of all things was the way to do that. But if they are working on something compelling, if they are working on something ambitious and Sony is backing it and they're going to be publishing the game for the PS5 launch, hey, that's going to make me very excited. And if it is a AAA release where it is a $60 full-fledged release on launch day, that gets me pretty excited. I want to see what Housemarque can do on a bigger scale like that. Can they deliver something of quality? It's one thing to deliver these arcade-like experiences, but Housemarque, they want to do something more. They want to do something different. They want to expand their studio. They want to publish a game, or at least develop a game that sells a lot of copies, even more so than what their games have done. And their games have done okay, but they've kind of stabilized in sales. Well, then ultimately they probably want to do a game like that. Maybe it could be a smaller downloadable game, a $30 to $40 downloadable game. That's always possible. But I think ultimately, if Sony is going to be publishing it and they want to do something incredibly ambitious, I could very well see it being a full-fledged $59.99 retail launch title and one of the marquee launch titles for the PlayStation 5. I think that would be exciting, and I would really love to see a studio like Housemarque, a studio that I've been a big fan of for a long time, get that spotlight get the spotlight like that. Because if you're a launch title for the PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series X and you're an exclusive next-generation game, inherently, you are just going to have that spotlight. Even if Housemarque does a bigger downloadable title, they're going to have a significant amount of spotlight if it's not something like the classic experience that they're known of, just because that kind of game probably isn't going to be associated with next-generation experiences. However, if they are working on something that is ambitious and notably their biggest game yet, then they're going to have that spotlight that they've been wanting for a while. They're going to have that attention that they've been wanting. Let's see if they can deliver on that, because this would be, if it is true, a huge opportunity for them to really establish themselves as that studio, one of the higher tier studios in all of gaming, and I really think they do want to do that, because that seemingly has been the goal for quite a while, and that's why they ultimately started production on Stormdivers, but at this point it has been shelved. If they work on something new, take the experience you learned from working on all those arcade games. You guys got a lot of quality experience out of that. If you can somehow weave that into a bigger project, I think that would do all the good in the world, and I would really love to see that, so let's hope for the best out of that game. Lastly, here is some very exciting news. Okami 2 has a high chance of becoming a reality. Hideaki Kamiya would have to direct the game. Okami 2 is not in development, but a member of the original development team is confident that it will happen at some point. Speaking during an interview with IGN Japan, Ikumi Nakamura, who worked on the original Okami as a background designer, revealed that a sequel to the game is the project she wants to make a reality the most. After quarantine is over, she is planning to pitching the project to Capcom. She also added that she wants Hideaki Kamiya to direct the game, as he is the director of the original title. Regarding Okami, that's actually the project she wants to make a reality the most. As long as she goes after it, she has a feeling the chances are pretty high that it might become a reality. After quarantine is over and the world becomes normal again, she is planning to make a visit to Capcom and propose the idea, but for her, the most important thing is that if it were to happen, she wants Kamiya-san to direct it again. The original Okami already got a sequel in the form of Okamiden released on the Nintendo DS. That game took the advantage of the DS touchscreen. However, I really want something that is a full-fledged sequel and something on the PlayStation 5, Series X, PC that we can accentuate the visuals and make a marquee game out of. That would be phenomenal. Of course, Okami HD is a thing already, so if you've never played the Okami games, go back and play that. I believe it might be on sale right now as well. It might be south of $10. It's a phenomenal game, harkens to gameplay of The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, a lot of great puzzles, a lot of great visual effects in that game as well, and great gameplay out of Okami as well. Okami is just a fantastic game that much deserves a sequel, and even though it became a greatest hits title, I don't know how well it did from a sales standpoint, but obviously it didn't do well enough to justify a follow-up game. It always did come across at the time of its release a little bit more of a niche game. However, now with the internet being a big thing, social media, a game like Okami 2 has a lot more potential to spread like wildfire and people to just talk about it naturally, and I do think there's a lot of potential with Okami as an IP going forward. But that's going to conclude this video. Again, the high-speed mecha action game Nimbus Infinity has been announced for the PlayStation 5, Series X, and PC. More mecha games on the market is definitely a good thing. Resogun's developer and Housemarque looking like they're developing a PS5 launch title. That could be something marquee for them, and that's definitely going to give them the spotlight that they've wanted for a while. Okami 2 has a high chance of becoming a reality. Hideaki Kamiya would have to direct the game, so let's hope that comes to fruition. Even if it does, game's not even in development yet, so we probably wouldn't see it for quite a while. Maybe we can get it out for the 20-year anniversary of the original Okami's release. Is that too much to ask? I don't know, but that's going to conclude this video. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.